In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Well, hello, and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a while.
It has.
Well, it feels like it's been a while because we've not done a formatted version of this for a few weeks.
Yes.
Because we did our movie review, you may recall, last time.
No, I have no memory of that.
It wasn't really a review.
I have, honestly, I have very little memory of the movie. To be honest, I said to Liz,
That's a good point.
without wishing to go into the movie again, I said, there was a bit I actually laughed at, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was.
What? Probably the most jarring thing is the realization that we may have been on the wrong side of history on this
yes,
one.
this is worth talking about because
Oh, it's had, quite positive reviews.
yeah, a lot of people who I've heard review it on, like professional reviewy people or like comedians
People who know what they're talking about
Yes,
because
you
they,
would normally
they get
think.
paid for it. Yeah.
or friends, all have been like, yeah, and it was fun. It was all right. It was fun.
Whatever.
I feel you were a bit a bit more.
I came out feeling better about it than you two did. I think it's fair to say. I don't want to get bogged down in Sonic again.
No,
I just brought it up.
No.
I just brought it up as a intro.
It's a
sort of thing.
flashpoint subject. and
Yeah,
you
it
shouldn't
is.
have brought it up.
Yeah.
Every episode will feature at least one element of review
Yeah.
of the Sonic
It
movie.
inflames that. Tell you what it has done for me, weirdly, is that I've got back into like looking at other Sonic stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, so I've been like watching playthroughs of older games and things, and I've started reading Sonic the Comic, which I never read, but I started reading it because I think I'm searching for like
That's something.
that's something.
That's
Yeah, there's
something,
something
yeah.
that
The
was
Sonic
definitely
you
missing,
require.
but not without knowing exactly what it was.
The Sonic you need, not the Sonic you deserve. How did Batman say it?
Oh,
The hero
Gotham
I don't care.
deserves, but
I
not the
don't- I
one
can't
they.
remember.
It
The
never
only
made-
time I
yeah.
saw that movie was with you in Canada,
Ah,
and we were quite pissed.
yes, that's true. Well, it like pissed drunk rather than pissed angry.
Angry.
No,
Yeah.
The year was 2008.
Was
and, Yes, and Iron Man and The Dark Knight came out about a month apart.
Well, I saw Iron Man on the way home from Canada on the flight. That was the first time I saw Iron Man. Shortly before the airline we were flying with went bust.
Yes, stranding.
Zoom Airlines.
Yes,
Oh,
because if you buy a return flight with a year between the flight out and the flight back,
oh yeah.
I suppose there is a chance that the airline may go under
I mean, a
in
small
that
one,
time.
you'd
Yeah,
think.
a small
Percentage-wise, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, it happened, but we made it out all right.
Good. Well, you're here, so you must have done.
Thinking back, that was the really weird summer before the Marvel, obviously long before the Marvel Cinematic Universe took off.
Yeah.
But in 2008, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I remember I was living in Vancouver and Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk came out.
Yeah,
Very close to each other.
they were close, I think. Yeah.
But weren't they released by different studios back then?
Maybe.
Because Paramount released the first Captain America movie.
Really?
No. What, really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Wow.
That's weird as well.
If you watch the first Captain America film, I'm pretty sure there's a Paramount logo at the start.
But all I can remember is they were released so close together that for a while you could go to the cinema to see The Incredible Hulk and not get
Yeah.
the after credits scene.
Yes.
And then they
When Tony Stark shows up.
and then they re-released it with a hastily shot scene, which makes no sense now in hindsight at all.
Well, the irony is that the two characters in that post-credit scene are still in the MCU, or they were pre-Endgame.
Yeah,
But the guy who played the lead character in that film is no longer.
that is true.
So there you go. That's
Poor Ed
ironic,
Norton
isn't
must
it?
be kicking himself.
Oh,
Well-
he's probably really upset.
Who saw Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk? I'm not
I
sure.
know.
did.
I remember when he was cast. I was like, Mark Ruffalo.
Everyone's
though.
like, who? Who?
But here's a question: is he similar to the Banner you associate with the comics? I would wager no, but
no.
I don't really know what I'm talking
Mark
about.
Ruffalo is possibly the best actor you could imagine playing Mark Ruffalo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As in, got a lot of time for the guy. He's great. around Thor
I do
Ragnarok,
like
he
Mark
stopped
Ruffalo.
caring.
Checked out.
Like he is. I think like Age of Ultron is the last time in which he's actually playing Banner.
then
Everything
he's just
post that,
playing
he's
Mark
just
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
You could say that about all of them to an extent.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, certainly for like.
Like Chris Hemsworth has turned from Chris Hemsworth into Thor and back into Chris Hemsworth.
That's true.
yes, he did kind of just become posh Aussie
Yeah.
after a while.
I feel like Captain America, he stayed pretty.
Chris
What's his name?
Evans.
But even
Chris
he,
Evans, yeah,
even
yeah.
he became quite humorous in Endgame.
Yeah, but
With-
he always had this clipped
yeah,
nature to him,
but
didn't
like
he?
that's America's ass and stuff like that.
Tom
That's
Holland.
true.
Tom Holland is still trying.
Well, he has to put on a different
Yeah,
accent.
that's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I thought. I got it wrong.
I'm just laughing because I like the idea that we're trying to establish which of the actors, and it's a
Oh,
minority,
okay, yeah.
are still trying,
Which of them are playing the characters they're supposed to be playing? still?
I think.
and not themselves.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Mark Ruffalo got a call from his good friend Robert Downey Jr.,
Sure.
Mates,
which is true.
is it?
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, my buddy Mark Ruffalo, you're done with Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Big falling out. Ed Norton, he's got a big personality.
Big man,
He had artistic visions
Yeah.
for the Incredible Hulk, which,
Despite
That was his first
which
mistake.
didn't
despite
work.
being an actor.
so Mark
Know
Ruffalo.
your place.
And so Robert, I was
You
gonna-
act, actor. You act.
So Ian Downey Jr., whatever his name is,
Yeah.
goes, I've got a good buddy, Mark Ruffalo. And the studio was like, who?
Who,
He
the
said,
Gruffalo?
He said, that's irrelevant. He goes, he can play Banner. He'll do a good job. So they bring him in.
He was very good in Can You See Me Now, or what the magic one.
I
haven't seen that.
No.
I can't remember what it's called.
I've seen the one, Eternal Sunshine.
Can
is
you
one.
can you see, now you can see me.
Now you see me.
Now you see me.
Magic.
Something
Yeah.
to do with magic.
Yeah.
You've seen me. Here I am.
Anyway, he plays a police officer, and it turns out he's behind it all.
Jesus, spoilers.
Well, that's just
Oh,
ruined that.
I've-
hasn't
oh,
it?
I've ruined it.
Good God.
Oh god.
okay, but look, like
put a
that
spoiler
that
alert
was
at the front.
post, but that's post the Avengers bringing the Ruffalo songs, the Ruffaloa songs, which kind of like brought
That's
him
the
back
word.
into our.
I think,
Ruffalo
I think you
songs.
nailed it there.
Uh,
You did really well.
so he does what? He does like Avengers,
He does.
and then he does like Age of Ultron. And bear in mind, Mark Ruffalo, he's never been in the spotlight quite like this.
No.
So for a couple of years, he's just like, "This is great, having time of my life." And then he checked his bank balance.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh wow,
I'm A-list now.
it
can do what I
nothing
want."
matters anymore. Like this is fine. Don't have to carry a franchise.
No.
There's no solo Hulk
Or a
movie.
handgun.
It's like,
I don't know what
it's
that
like
means.
so from that point on, he's just like, "Hey, I'm Mark Ruffalo." In fact, that's my favorite quote from Infinity War. Yeah, it's kind of and this
I had a
week.
theory
Oh,
just
here we
on
go.
that,
Oh,
on that
yeah.
along those
Oh,
lines.
you love a
that,
theory.
that the Hulk / Bruce Banner was a Skrull because his personality changed so much.
Yes.
In between Age of Ultron and Ragnarok.
I
That was my theory going into one of Infinity War or Endgame.
I had wondered if
I thought there were going to be more scroll reveals, to be honest.
I
Than
was expecting
zero.
like major Skrull reveals.
Yeah.
because if you're Marvel, you're like, we need a new franchise. How do we keep this going? You know, this money train has to keep.
And that's, if anything, one of the biggest things that surprised me about. We were now talking about this, apparently.
This is happening.
But
Yeah.
like, is that it ended with absolutely nothing. Like, no,
Yeah.
no real threads or loose ends at all.
It
It's
was
like,
just,
fuck
this
it,
is the
let's
end.
just shut this down.
It's sort of, if you're going to jump off, you might as well do it now.
I kind of
sort
have,
of
I
thing.
think.
Yeah, I was convinced that Captain America was going to be revealed as a scroll because he has no lines of dialogue in Infinity War. Like that's a
And he
lie.
might grunt twice.
Yeah, that's a like. He says a couple of things.
Well, we assumed he was old at the end. Maybe that was a Skrull.
An old scroll.
An old,
The
scrolly
old
scroll.
Skrull boy, yeah.
But the old scroll and switch.
Yeah.
But they announced this week. It's like Mark Ruffalo confirmed for She-Hulk, and I'm like, yes, of course he's going to be in She-Hulk because Mark Ruffalo doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He can just turn up and have a great time.
He'll repeat his favourite line of dialogue from Infinity War. Hi, I'm Mark Ruffalo.
So we're getting a She-Hulk movie. I didn't
Or
know
it's
that.
TV
Disney,
series
it's a Disney
or,
Plus.
Oh,
I just not going
I
to pay
should say
for
at this
it.
point that I have subscribed to Disney Plus.
I
Okay,
might
we'll
still.
just come around your house and watch it.
I
That's
might.
fine.
You have to subscribe by year though.
Well, you do if you want the discount initially. I've paid £50 for 12 months, which I think's all right.
I just want to watch it. I just want it for a month so I can watch The Mandalorian. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want
not sure that's coming out all at once.
Mandalorian.
Mm.
I thought the whole first season was out.
It is in America.
Oh god!
But I think in the when
What?
it's bullshit.
Why even have a streaming service?
I think that's what I
that's a good
what
point.
I've heard. But I think if people moan on the internet enough, then we'll probably get it all at once.
But I don't moan on the internet. I'm not one of those.
Hasn't Michael
maybe you should
Eisner
start.
got
It's,
enough
it's
money?
great. You
Oh,
should.
you
it's
are really
brilliant.
good at it.
You always get somewhere as well. That's
You should
the thing
start
about
like
moaning on the internet.
a lynda.com course about moaning on the internet. I think.
Yeah.
I think you'd be really good at
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
That's all right.
I offered to write someone a strongly worded letter today because they got thrown out of a Miller and Carter steakhouse for wearing a tracksuit. That's true. It's a true story.
Is that one of your clients? Or was
No,
that...
it's one of my football friends.
Oh, right, okay.
Did you write the letter?
No, but I will.
Oh, you will.
Oh, I've written some good, strongly worded letters
I can
in the
imagine.
past.
Yeah.
Dear sirs.
Dear bastards.
Well, I think that's enough prime content of three middle-aged
That
guys
was
talking
good,
about the
wasn't it?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Cold
You
open.
don't get enough of that.
Definitely. Nobody gets enough of that.
Stay tuned for our breakdown video.
Well, hello and welcome to a show called Hate.
Ah, this is this.
Format is king,
Yeah.
and this is a podcast.
Is that all staying in?
Oh, that's all staying in.
Okay.
God knows.
better
We,
be.
it's hard enough to fill an hour anyway. This is a podcast in which.
Should we just introduce ourselves again?
Hi, I'm John.
I'm Chris.
I'm the other one.
Right. That's great. That's going in. And every episode, we bring a topic of love and a topic of hate to the table
Yes, we-
to
correct.
discuss, to overanalyze, and hopefully get a bit of closure in the process. So, should we start, as we always do, with 5 minutes of inane conversation?
Yeah, I think so.
And also a topic of hate. Who's got something?
I'll do one if you
Oh,
want.
Yeah, why don't
not
you
you.
Why don't you
Chris
just
Ray.
do one?
I'll do one.
Why don't you just do
I'll
one?
do one.
Do one.
I'd like to go away, please, Sue. It's a question of you won't understand that. It's a question of
I-
sport reference.
No.
No, forget it.
No.
Know
I don't.
your room.
The representation of portable media in film.
This is like a title of a dissertation.
And I'll tell you for why.
Colon, the Chris Ray story.
Yeah.
Tell me for why.
Do you remember The Matrix?
I watched some clips of The Matrix today.
This question will be answered in the coming months. They could only actually do anything effective using landlines.
Correct.
True.
What changed about the world in that portable media is represented so wonderfully that it always works fine? The biggest issue anyone ever has with mobile media is that someone hasn't called them back.
Okay.
That's a part of the problem.
Okay.
Right.
That's one part of the problem.
Okay. I may need. Okay.
That's fine. And
Park
some examples
that,
of
yeah.
what I'm actually talking about is how, let's say someone's taking a selfie
In a movie.
in a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they take a selfie, but the actual photo looks like where the camera angle is from the film. So they
Oh,
take
I
a photo
see.
on their
Oh.
phone,
And it doesn't look like shit.
but it doesn't look like it would be from the angle that they're actually taking it.
Sure.
It actually freeze frames on what you're watching.
So
But
like,
that's not what the photo looks like.
so they're looking
The
at the
photo
photo.
wouldn't
The phone is in the
Yeah,
shot.
The phone is in the shot, exactly. You look at your photo and you go, my God, who was taking pictures of us?
While I had my phone in the
What?
air.
There's so many films where that happens, and I've gone, why the fuck have they done that? Why didn't they just turn on the phone,
It's so easy. Yeah.
take the selfie, and use that?
This is what's great, is that modern phones have cameras in them, and when you take photos
Whoa,
with them,
slow
you
You
can
can
down.
take a picture
you could export
and just
that and put it into the movie.
Put that in the movie.
You could
can
do
take
that.
a good quality photo with that. Or no, let's just freeze frame it.
Yeah,
but
but-
that's not the photo.
No.
It's like you're sending it as a postcard or a photo to a family member, but it's from the camera angle of the movie.
Is there a specific film you've seen this happen in?
Oh, loads of films.
Loads of films.
What was the last film I watched where
Because
this
I can't say
happened?
I've noticed it.
And
Well, you will now.
And how does the Matrix tie into this?
Well, I'm just saying that when the landlines were involved,
Yes.
things were a lot simpler.
Oh, I
Oh.
see. Funny thing
I'm saying
is,
landlines. Matrix, they did use mobiles.
that's what I was
They
about to
did,
say.
But
yeah.
if you remember, they didn't actually do anything.
The mobiles
You could only
couldn't them
get in and out of the
Matrix.
Matrix from a landline.
That's correct.
Oh my God, you're right.
Well, their reasoning, I think,
But how
behind
would that work now?
was that it was hardwired into the Matrix.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make a lot of sense because the whole thing's a simulation anyway. So surely a mobile would work just as well.
But I'm saying as
I kind of like it as an
as a
aesthetic
thought to
device.
that, the increase in the use of mobile technology in movies is A, false.
Okay.
It's a false entity.
Yeah.
And B, how does it affect the Matrix?
I've noticed how
That's an excellent
That's a
one.
question for
That's
you.
a real question.
how
Yeah.
does it affect the Matrix?
Well, there's going to be another Matrix film coming.
There is.
Oh.
Are you
So this is
thinking?
what I'm sort of getting at. But how are they going to make use of mobile technology, and how are they going to bastardize mobile media more than it already has?
There will be a scene where somebody is running from an agent,
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
and they will get out a mobile phone and they'll dial into the mobile phone, and as and they will disintegrate while they're chucking the phone, and the phone will fly across a crowd of people, and then they'll rematerialize out of the phone and catch it.
Or they throw the phone and it opens a portal, and
my
they
God.
jump through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they open Facebook on their phone and then they touch a photo of when they were in Paris,
Yeah.
and then suddenly they're in Paris.
They're in Paris.
Isn't
that amazing?
They're going to use a mobile phone to
There's another
hack
element to
the
this.
immediate vicinity around them to
There'll be-
make
yeah.
things happen.
So it annoys me when they do the whole selfie thing because that's not the photo.
Sure.
It's unrealistic. It's not how it
Also,
works.
whenever
Bullshit.
anyone makes a call or sends a text, it's the first time they've ever called or texted that person, even if they're their best friend.
Yeah, you get a bling and there's nothing else.
There's
on that
nothing
screen.
else. There's no history. There's
Yeah,
no
I
calls.
was gonna mention
There's
this.
no text messages. It's not hard
Wouldn't it be
to
great
make
if-
these things accurate.
If the hero sent a message to like the secondary protagonist, and you saw a flash of their screen for a second, and it was just like, I did a colossal shit today.
Yeah.
You know?
or it's just it's half a picture of their cock and balls.
I shat so hard I saw a new colour.
Oh, what's this? A new message.
Your comment about selfies is kind of up there with a little personal thing of mine. Is like whenever. So the opening bits of a movie when you're establishing so much.
Yeah.
Say like one character is a family man.
Sure.
Or whatever, and say their family's about to die to give them
Sweet.
the motivation they need to go on a.
Love it when a
There'll
family
always be
dies.
that shot where like they're in the family house and there's one framed picture of the family.
Yes.
Which is very clearly like four unconnected people, like photoshopped into
Yeah.
one, like the headshots of the four actors.
But it's
Like-
like when you show pictures of kids, like two actors, but you show a photo of their brother and sister, say,
Yeah.
when they're kids, and it's clearly Photoshopped.
Yeah. Or it's just a random two people who are just not
Yeah.
them at all.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's always, going back to that, there's always like the family house, and it's full of pictures of the family. My
Yes.
house doesn't have any pictures of us. On
No.
the walls
Why
at
would it?
all.
Why would it?
Why would it? Because we're there sometimes.
Mm.
Like, I think we have one family picture that my mum like got a voucher for a free like thing, you know, where you go to a photo studio and you get like a proper professional
Oh, yeah.
family photo. That's on the wall somewhere.
They
in the
they
house.
always come out weird.
Yeah, they asked
Those
us to bring
shoots.
props along to
Yeah.
like speak of who we were. So my brother, he was playing a bass guitar at the time, so he had his bass guitar. I had a sketchbook because I'm an artist.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
I'd bring
there's
a
a shot.
fire so I could turn it on myself.
So there's a shot of your brother like jamming out, and you're in the corner like going,
Oh, yeah, you can see
drawing.
that.
See, the thing is,
It's
I'm
like-
so
it's like can't
pedantic.
cut to Sakura
I'm so
Planner.
pedantic that your brother would bring his bass guitar and I'd go, "That's not plugged in."
Yep.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
pedantic I am
You can
with
probably
these
tell
things.
actually. Yeah. I'm
that's
going to go
not
back
plugged
and
in.
check to see if it's plugged in now. It probably
He's
isn't.
not actually sketching there.
No,
I've-
I'm pretending.
I've done one of those photo shoots, and they do. I feel like for when I did it, at least, there was a real tendency where, try as you might, every photo reverts to looking like a bad author profile picture.
Oh right, yeah,
like
yeah.
they're like, okay, and
Inside the front
Natural,
cover.
natural.
Yes.
ah.
yeah, so they're like, okay, you know, just smile. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, just relax, get into it. Okay, so now rest your chin on your fist and
my
just kind of
God.
stare into the distance.
Hideous.
And then, okay, I'm just going to drape this scarf around your shoulder, and it's like you
Here's a monocle. Just put the monocle on, please.
you just look like a prick. Like it can't be helped.
And prick. Got it.
Oh,
Great.
thank you, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I can't stand that. I would refuse, in fact.
To stand
If I,
there.
well,
I would
just-
ask out of principle.
I think I would.
Sir, you're paying for this. No.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No,
it was a
you'll
free
see.
voucher.
I'm not
You'll
going to dance to
see.
your tune.
So yeah, well, that's what's been bothering me basically about some of the rom-coms I've been watching. I watched a
Ah.
film called The House Bunny
Okay.
on
Ah.
Netflix, and that
Why?
happened in that.
Why
I
do you
don't
watch
know.
that?
I don't know. It was just there.
I mean, I wouldn't watch that
I'm not proud of it.
on the basis of the title
I'm not
alone.
proud of it.
Wait, it was the selfie issue
Yeah,
that got you.
I could go on about the actual plot of the movie, but
Okay.
we'd been there and done that in the last episode about
We've done
plots
movies
and what
now.
have yous.
We've covered all
We
movies.
solved movies.
But that annoyed me when I just saw them taking a selfie and then it just freeze framed on the
Did
existing
it make
shot.
a noise like?
Yeah, exactly, and it
Yeah.
made a noise like that was the photo.
And sometimes
but it definitely
goes
wasn't.
a jaunty angle, like
Yeah.
and then the angle changes slightly to go.
And then
It's a
actually
still.
then it'll fade to black and then it'll just start putting Polaroids on the screen and it's
Yeah.
like, but that's them holding a camera.
This is a little bit like your stellar observation that led to you getting a degree of Twitter fame, when
yes.
you spotted on The
Yes.
Apprentice that.
Well,
Mm,
John,
well,
Liz actually spotted that.
Oh.
Here's a secret for you.
behind the
to all the,
scenes.
to
all
the
coming out now.
3,000 people who retweeted it. that Liz spotted it, and it was a JPEG of a spreadsheet.
I think we've talked about this on the show.
Have we before? Yeah. And it. I just zoomed
Running
in
out of
on
ideas.
it and put it on Twitter, and I went viral, like everyone is at the moment.
So
Well, I've never been viral.
It
I don't know what
could-
that feels like.
it could be argued.
I can't wait to be viral in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good God. We're all going to be.
That's going to be fantastic.
We can do a special episode on that, on the coronavirus.
Oh,
when
remote-
we're all suffering.
remotely, so we don't have to be in the same room.
No,
as
we'll
each
be
other.
quarantined together.
Ah,
I'll make sure.
but
of
it's
it.
going to lock this
Can
door.
you imagine if
And
we
they already have.
got it right now,
We
right
might
this
already have
second
it.
now?
Well, we probably,
We'd be
yeah.
quarantined in this studio for 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine how many episodes we get done?
Well,
They'd only be able to
3,
feed
at
us,
least
like,
3.
flat foods that could fit under the door, like ham,
yeah, and we'd all have to shit out the window.
or just in the corner. It
Well,
could be the
would
shit
we be
corner.
allowed to
Yeah.
open the window? I don't know. I don't know exactly what level of quarantine we'd be talking. Like, if I went into quarantine, let's say I did,
Okay.
would the Tesco guy be able to deliver food?
Well, they do.
How would I eat?
He could put it in your porch and then shut the door, and then you could
But
open
is that
your
too
side.
close to me?
It's only within 2 meters for 15 minutes or more.
Is how you get it.
So yeah. So right now, if one of us had it,
We're fucked.
we've all got it
Great.
right now.
Sweet.
But yeah,
I mean, in my head, I will get it, and
well,
that's
apparently
fine.
80% of people are going to get it.
That's fine.
That's the predicted number. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not. You
Is
know.
it fine?
the nature of the job in which I currently work means that I am occasionally having to sit in on Public Health England kind of conference.
That's the worst
calls.
place to be, John.
Arguably the safest place
Oh,
to be.
calls.
Calls.
Apology. I thought
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going
Rooms
to
full
a
of
major
doctors.
international event next week
Don't
in,
go to it.
in our town. It's in our town.
Oh, it's the races.
It's the races.
Oh, there we go.
So,
You're fucked. You're patient zero.
well, I think we're all.
They haven't
fucked.
cancelled it yet. It's
They're
still
not
I
going
mean-
to. They've said it's on. So.
Ah, well, I do like that. like,
Thing is,
fuck it.
I
What do the horses get it?
they cancelled it because of foot and mouth once,
Huh?
which is understandable because there wouldn't have been any horses.
Well, horses do have
It would
feet
have just
and
been.
mouths.
It just would have been short blokes running.
I'd have watched that. I'd have been
I would
there
have-
for
yeah,
that.
maybe I would have watched that. But in my head, I will get it, and it will probably come to this town next week. So all the best.
Okay, great.
Is that a worry for you? Are you
Not
feeling
really,
like, no,
no.
It's been a good run, guys. I
Well,
think-
yeah,
I
it's
think
been
we've
great,
done well.
But the way, let's talk about this. then.
Okay. Like
The way people are talking
side
about
hate.
This should have been your
coronavirus,
hate.
yeah, it should have been. It's like everyone's a fucking leper.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh,
it's like a death sentence.
Yeah.
I would go as far as to say it is reprehensible the way it's
Disgusting.
being
Yeah.
reported.
Yes,
Like
it's
absolutely gross.
ridiculous, yeah.
Now it's rare that I turn.
Got to
to
be scared of something.
It's rare that I-
Brexit's done. We got to be scared of something.
Well, isn't it great that, in this lovely golden new era we find ourselves in, that suddenly a degree of global cooperation would be wonderful. But there we go.
That's by the by.
It's rare that I turn to the world of football for inspiration.
Yeah.
But old Jurgen Klopp,
yeah, that
Yeah.
was good, wasn't it? Did you see that?
yes,
Don't know.
he is a Dutch
German.
It's a Dutch German.
He's a
Dutch
Dutch German.
German.
Yeah, nothing to do with football. It's irrelevant.
The Dutch
I love
Germans.
this, guys.
He is a
Pennsylvania Dutch.
He is a German football manager of Tottenham Hotspur,
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Very
God,
similar.
you're so far off.
I know.
You're doing, apart from getting all the facts wrong, John, you're doing really well.
Okay,
He's Dutch.
He's got a beard, right? He's
He
got
has
a
got a
yeah,
beard. That's
and
important.
he's a handsome Matt.
Great.
He's
Yeah, he's a good-looking
he's,
guy.
he's sexy.
Yeah.
He's sexy.
Wears a
fit.
baseball cap,
He's a fitty.
glasses, beard.
Yeah.
And someone was asking him after a game, whatever. Maybe they won, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
No, they lost.
They lost. And someone said, and one of the reporters was
I love
like,
this anecdote.
"What are your opinions on coronavirus or whatever?"
Weird thing to ask a football manager.
And he
That's exactly what he said.
And he said, "Why are you asking me?" He said, "Like I'm a football manager, and clearly I'm a football manager with a bad shave." He's like, "Ask the experts. Anything I could
Yes,
say would
ask
be."
the expert.
He just goes, "Anything I could say would be mindless speculation."
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to
And you know
this.
it would be all over the fucking
Yeah.
headlines when he said it.
Don't
Klopp,
ask.
Klopp says coronavirus is going to spread.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It
Klopp
will.
says coronavirus carried by wasps.
Yeah. So it's just, it's a load
uh,
of old bollocks at the moment.
Garbage.
So, would you advise our listeners to turn on their neighbours and crack open their skulls and drink the sweet goo inside?
Yes, I would, Kent.
There we go.
But yeah, I mean, in my head, I will get it, and I'm not bothered. I've been
fine.
ill. I've been ill before. I've had flu. I've had colds.
Here's the thing. Here's
I'll
the
be
thing that's
fine.
great. Is that I'm on immunosuppressive drugs.
Now, yes.
Yeah, and I'm asthmatic. Two massive things.
Oh well.
Because asthmatics
You
are
and me will be
apparently-
all right, John.
Asthmatics-
Yeah.
I hate you guys. Yeah, so it's going to be me, definitely.
Have we endangered you by bringing you here today?
Hopefully.
Mm.
I like to live on the edge.
God willing. We'll keep an eye on you, eh?
Great. Yeah.
Bring a food basket round or something.
Well, don't get too close.
We'll have like a stick. Or
Yeah.
like
Just throw an egg at my window.
The funny thing
You
football's
didn't open
done.
it first.
The funny thing football's done to combat the coronavirus is they've cancelled the handshakes at the start of the games.
Brilliant.
Ah.
Which, when you're playing a contact sport where blokes regularly gob on the pitch and
bite
then
each
shake
other's
hands
shins.
afterwards,
Right.
that's really what the takeaway should be, that we just cancel the pre-match handshakes.
I mean,
So
like,
that would solve it.
at the same
probably.
time, if you're running around a pitch in the outdoor air, I would say there's probably very little chance of contracting anything at that point.
I have no
Like,
idea.
I had
I'm
a
not
blood test.
I'm not a medical professional.
I had a blood test the other day and talked to a medical professional. I talked to a nurse, and she said to me that actually the virus dies at heat kills it. 20 degrees
Everyone to the sauna.
will kill it. And she said, hot drinks are really, really good. And I said, well, I drink a lot of tea. And
Yeah.
she said, well, you're probably going to be all right.
But about that, your blood test results came back. You are drinking too much tea.
You are drinking tea. Yeah, the caffeine
are
and sugar content alone.
44% tea.
Well, I mean, yeah, the coronavirus is a concern, but your tea consumption will kill you much quicker.
much
quicker. No.
You idiot.
Yeah, I thought I should just throw that in.
Great. No, it's good.
Yeah,
That's like an extra
So
hate.
my hate about
Don't care about that.
cameras in movies
That's done.
is related to coronavirus, because everything is.
Okay. That's true. Everything is.
I guess, like, on that note, any...
Is yours coronavirus?
No, I was going to say, but any kind of, like, Skype chat, other brands are available, but any time of video chat in a movie is always perfect connection,
yes.
perfect
Exactly.
audio.
That's
That's
what
a really
I'm
good
getting at.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good example.
No one ever has a technical issue in a movie with
No.
a popular brand of cell phone or
No,
Skype.
instantly connects. Nobody ever tries to hang up and misses the button.
No.
Or fluffs it.
But is
or...
this not the same as we never see, like, Keanu Reeves go for a poo? Like, we don't need to see connection difficulties on the phone.
Maybe we should.
I'm not aching for that in my stories.
Maybe
I'm
we
just saying,
should.
Maybe we should.
There is a toilet in the first scene of The Mandalorian for people who are wondering how they shit in space.
I've always wondered.
So there you
Does
go.
it just suck it out of your bum?
It looks like a space toilet.
Is it like the
Rad.
Flintstones where there's actually like a pelican just got to sit?
You think you have a crap job?
That was a very good wow, wow, wow.
Now-
Is
Right.
it like the first movie? Oh, his pop quiz was the
on.
first movie ever to show a toilet flushing.
Fuck.
Ever.
I mean, I'm not going to know the answer.
Okay, I'm
to
going
this.
to guess.
Okay,
I'm going to say Breakfast at Tiffany's.
not a bad time frame.
Okay,
but
okay.
no,
It's a Wonderful Life.
no. Again, okay.
So we're talking early cinema.
And it is black and white.
Okay. It's
Casablanca.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
No, all good, all excellent guesses.
Shit it again, Sam.
No, it's Psycho. Psycho.
Really?
Yes.
Good lord.
It's scandalous. You don't even see a turd, just a toilet flushing.
Well, it could have been a piss.
And everyone's like,
What is that, like a premonition or something in Psycho?
no, it's just in the bathroom.
Oh.
It's not even like.
Is this before the shower
Yeah,
attack? Oh.
yeah. It's not even like. It's just like just see a character go flush, and everyone goes,
Oh my god.
good
Oh,
gracious.
this is very risque.
Oh, I'm all a fluster.
Or the ladies get the vapors and kind of like collapse.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's good knowledge.
I've got a hate.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Give us a hate, John.
Now-
Give us a hate.
it's a little niche.
Hello, I'm
but
Mr.
I-
Niche.
I mean, 50 odd episodes in, it sort of needs to be.
Good God, yeah, we hit all the big ones.
Is it more niche?
For the record, I nearly went with mushrooms. So.
Is it more niche than the depiction of phone communication
Yeah.
in
Okay.
television media?
It's similar because it deals with faked content.
There you go.
Oh.
I hate staged clips of video games for promotional purposes.
Okay.
And I
You
say,
might have to elaborate.
okay, now
Certainly for Christopher Wren.
I say this
What's a
as
video game?
I say this as someone who isn't even that big of a gamer. Like I don't play.
You're quite small.
Quite small, yeah. I don't play a lot of video games. Certainly not as much as I'd like. But once a year, say, a big gaming convention rolls around.
Oh, yes.
So let's say E3, massive. So Nintendo, Microsoft, all the big companies, they'll each...
I've heard of those companies.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're in the room. But they will each get like call it like a 2-hour headlining
stage.
presentation. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
Is this akin to sort of Marvel at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Kind of. It's not a panel of people talking though. It'll be like they get 2 hours on stage and it'll
Mm.
play footage on a big screen.
Uh-huh.
The odd developer or like head honcho might come out and talk a bit about what's coming.
Like
Gotcha.
when Steve Jobs
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
talk about
yeah.
the app.
That's
yeah.
what- that's what I'm
It's not
picturing.
like
Yeah,
that,
that's what
yeah.
I'm picturing.
But
like a
what's-
technology.
But what's
thing.
weird is that like people pack into these auditoriums again, not to play a game or even to really meet like a famous person, because no one cares who the CEO of.
No, we don't know who they are. until
Microsoft
they
Or do they?
They just want to see the games that are coming out.
Yeah.
Sure.
But everything that comes out is a very, very, very scripted and polished
Yeah.
presentation. So even if they
Not
just,
actual game footage.
No.
I see that a lot.
but even if they just came out and played like a trailer, they're just like, here's a trailer for a new game. I'd be go, okay, that's cool, great, loved, looks great, very exciting.
It's
yeah.
gonna be great.
That's going to be great.
But one thing they frequently do is, so as an example, there was a game called Anthem, which
Oh,
came
yeah.
out a while ago.
Sure.
It was a bit
I
like
believe you.
kind of like shooty in space, kind of wearing like Iron Man-esque suits, flying around,
Very, very on trend.
very on trend.
Very
Yeah.
on trend.
By all accounts, not an amazing game. It had like a very troubled development.
Oh, no.
But don't ask me how, but I ended up seeing some of the footage from when they were selling it. So again, you get a very slick kind of CEO, or if not the CEO, someone like who looks the part, like the media manager, like little
But he'll be wearing like a blazer and a t-shirt.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So full hipster.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he'll have an earpiece type thing, and he'll walk out.
Yeah.
and
like,
he'll
"Hey,
come
everyone,
out and he'll go like,
I'm one of you.
Who the fuck are you?
but
and he'll go-
richer.
and he'll come out and go like, hey guys, we like games,
You're
right?
excited, right?
And
Who
then-
loves E3?
And there's always someone in the background who goes like, woo, woo, woo,
I like games.
woo.
I was saying boo
I recognise that.
The Millennium Falcon, I'm familiar with it.
Well, that's the thing, and it's already a bit cringy because you're like, oh, okay, and he goes,
It's very cringy.
so we took the paradigm to a new level.
Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy.
Watch
and then
this, and then the screen goes dark.
but what they play is not just like, well, it's not a trailer.
Ah.
It's not even
Game footage.
raw game footage. It's scripted game footage.
Right.
So a lot of people now again, Chris Ray, apologies if I'm treating you like an idiot.
Well,
here.
Please feel free to.
But
On this one occasion.
but streaming video games is a very popular thing now.
Well, there is a channel on digital television dedicated to people playing FIFA.
Is that right?
Really?
I know that, yeah.
okay.
And they just commentate on the games all day. It's weird. But there's football clubs. Sorry, I'm bringing it
Okay,
back.
well, please.
I'll
yeah.
just
Get it back to football.
Football clubs
Thank God we're back
sign
on track. Yeah.
people to play as them on FIFA at tournaments.
That's insane.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one thing I know about video games.
Wow. Sorry. Just,
Okay, that's
yeah.
huge. That's
That
something
is
in
they
itself.
pay-
astonishing. That is astonishing.
They like pay them a wage to play as them on FIFA.
But what if you're following like Liverpool on the FIFA channel and they're doing better
Than Liverpool in real life.
because Jeff in
Yeah, but
Ipswich
that's
is
true.
really good.
He's a
at-
great gamer.
He's a really
I mean,
good
I
gamer.
could win the lottery.
You could.
I won't.
Yeah, it's
I don't enter it,
theoretically
but
possible.
and pay someone to play as Gillingham
Yes,
on FIFA and win the FIFA tournament.
because nobody at Gillingham has forked out to.
Yeah, because, but I'd probably rather buy Gillingham. But I could do that.
But when you buy, I'm just talking about FIFA now. But when you buy a video game of football, a football video game, some might say.
Some would say
Like
that.
FIFA,
yeah.
for
If you buy FIFA, FIFA's a very good example. Let's bring FIFA
I
into
think
this.
there's only
yeah.
one now.
Wait,
FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah,
are
Is
the
Pro
two
Evo
main
still
ones.
going?
I don't know.
So if you bring in FIFA and you go, I'm a big Gillingham fan, I'm going to play as Gillingham.
Yeah.
The game is,
On FIFA, you can. Yeah. I mean, they are
but
shit.
they will be shit. This is my point.
Oh,
It's
I
like
see.
you will be. They are designed to be a D-list
Yeah.
team
That's very
in
generous.
that video game. Well,
That's
thank you. Yeah.
It's like using the Kokiri sword right to the end of Ocarina of Time, isn't it?
I don't understand.
Pull up.
No,
Okay.
but obviously Gillingham do that. I'm
Yeah.
being facetious, but big clubs do.
Okay. We'll say so. There is a very popular. God, we're really going back to first principles here. There is a very popular app, channel, whatever. It's owned by Amazon now, called Twitch. So you could. So if you open up,
I don't
okay.
know.
So if you open up Twitch, you could go any game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Like search
say.
for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Let's say. I know, I'm familiar with
And
that
you go,
game.
You
Yeah.
go, who is playing Sonic the Hedgehog, the original, right now?
36 people will be playing.
And you'll
it.
find, and he goes, and 10,000 people are watching this one person play.
Triple X Tit Ninja is playing it right now.
Triple X Tit Ninja is playing. Yeah, because
Is he one of the big gamers?
Oh yeah.
here's the thing: they'll have names like that.
Yeah.
And then you will get a full,
Gamer tags.
So you log in, and you'll get like a full screen of the game, and then in the bottom right, you'll get like
a little webcam shot.
you. So it'll be like a
Right.
little like headshot of you playing.
Sure.
And then you'll get like a chat stream going
Right.
down the right hand corner.
Okay.
People will be commenting live on his
Yeah.
playthrough.
This reminds me of those late night shows you get on ITV where they play bingo.
Yeah.
And you just get all the comments down the side.
Yes, it's like
Do
that.
you remember those?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like till 3 a.m. or something. They used
Yeah.
to play bingo and you
Yeah, so-
phone in or whatever.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so it's like
Phone and play along at home.
I'm not saying it's like that. It just reminds
no,
me of
yeah.
that.
Two fat ladies face.
You've got to appreciate,
I'm
John,
glad
that I
we-
do not know what you're talking
I'm glad
about.
we found
A
point of
touchstone.
reference
And it's
somewhere.
bingo.
Yeah. Okay.
Teletext bingo.
Jesus Christ. So
I'm not sure you thought this all the way through,
okay,
John.
no, just bear with me. Ride with me on this train to the end.
Okay.
Right.
It's a very good.
Okay, so what do you call it? Like Tit Ninja or whatever?
Triple X Tit Ninja.
Triple X Tit Ninja.
There's an underscore in there.
He's streaming Sonic the Hedgehog like 12 hours straight. You
Sat
know,
in a tin of
he's
baked
he's,
beans.
he's just him in his room chugging Monster. You know, and
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
and people are like donating like tons of money to him while he plays.
And
And
the reason
Donate what?
Yeah,
Oh.
the reason for that's still unknown.
oh
They're
yeah,
donating.
They
hand
will throw
over-
money at him.
Yeah.
He will have a gauge at the bottom saying something like, "My goal for tonight, 1,200 quid."
But what?
Yeah, no,
What are they paying for?
Well, that's a really good question. I watched a.
For him to mention them, because when they donate, it'll flash up on the screen
I mean-
like Dirty Gav has just uploaded 50 quid or whatever, and he'll go, "Oh, thanks, Dirty Gav," and then he'll carry on playing.
Surely you could get much more attractive people to say hello to you for 50 quid.
Well, I mean, I remember watching. I watched one because I was watching Dark Souls, which I'm a big fan of. And
Why would you want him? I'm sorry. Why would you want this Titmaster or whatever his name is?
Titmaster.
Why would you want him to say hello to you?
that is a really.
As I
Good
said, the jury
question,
is still out
yeah.
on this. I really don't have an answer.
So-
I can't get my head around that.
No, and it's
We're too
monstrous.
old.
And I would like to say, so as someone who has both a day job and a creative sideline, it is distressing. It's like
upsetting.
I kind of want to die sometimes when I think about it because I watched a guy playing a Dark Souls game, which I very much like, and I just tuned in for like 5 seconds, and he's just going like, "Hey man, this level's pretty challenging, but oh look at that, we just made like $50,000. Guess I'm buying a new computer now. Anyway, so what you want to do is
when they say
He just
this,
doesn't-
this
And then
level is very challenging. I mean, you barely have to move. It's
Yeah.
very challenging. This.
and then I hung, and then I just I logged
Checked
out.
out.
You just press the buttons in a slightly different order.
And I went and stared at the sea for a bit and just kind of like thought
I-
about the choices that had led me to this point in life.
I get why people like video games. I get it. And I get why they might like to watch other people watching video games because I've done that. I've
Yes,
watched you
yeah.
play
Yeah, that makes
video
sense.
games.
Yeah,
and I find it quite
It's like
entertaining.
a communal. I think that's where it springs from, like having a bunch of mates around and watching someone play a game.
because
Yeah.
I can't play them very well.
Yes.
And that's fine. I don't understand why you would pay someone. That's the bit I'm struggling with.
It is curious, isn't it?
Or why those people are famous, inverted commas.
Well, I guess it's supply and demand. I guess if you really enjoyed football games and there was only one way to view them by some guy's bootleg. This is a really bad analogy, but like if one guy was broadcasting football games that he was recording himself, you might toss him £5 every now and
keep it
then
going.
for the privilege, like to keep it running.
It's
Yeah.
not the same as that, unfortunately.
I don't know. It's really weird. Anyway, but the
Yeah,
point,
but
That's not your hate, though.
So
why
the-
don't you just play the video? Oh.
well, okay. So the reason I bring it up, that is context to say that the real
we could
world,
be here all night.
the
talking about
real
this.
world
Could
of video game streaming is rough and ready, and
Yeah.
you know,
You s-
it's a dude going, "Oh, I just made $50,000.
Yeah.
Thanks,
oh,
bro."
I just died. Oh, my console's just restarted. Oh well.
And
You,
the-
you see all the nuts and bolts. You see all the
yeah,
rough edges. You know.
and you get these kids becoming celebrities,
Mm.
and then you get these scandals where it turns out they're all like a bunch of like racist or homophobic or sexist shits who just
No.
yeah, I know who'd have thought.
and they've been
Not-
spouting their.
Not the people who never go outside.
yeah, but here's the thing. So they go like, Triple X Tit Ninja has been called out for insulting I don't know the Bulgarians or something like that, and he would just go like, I don't know, man, like, you know, me and my mates talk like that all the time. Yes, because you're not a media personality. You're a guy in his bedroom with a camera.
No media
Okay,
training.
so that's the situation.
Is he actually a ninja?
Probably not. Although there is a guy called Ninja who is the world's most popular Fortnite player who is making millions.
That's not his Christian name. I mean, like...
See, I'm not gonna. Don't answer this question. It's not really a question. It's more of a statement. I don't know what Fortnite is.
Okay.
I really don't.
We don't need to go into that.
That's really not a... We don't want to tap that vein. That's not...
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm putting that out there.
So
I don't
that's
know.
fine.
That's the
That's
context.
fine.
It's rough and ready. There's a lot of questionable content and swearing and dodgy stuff, and there's a lot of money. So now, Cass, with that in mind, let's travel back through time to that stage where this man goes, and we reinvented the paradigm. So sit back and watch. And the lights dim, and there's a gentle applause.
Sure.
And then this footage starts playing, and it is of somebody playing the game, as in the character is moving on the screen.
So somebody.
So you're
So it's
watching-
As in,
comments
you
live.
can't see a human being, but you're seeing the screen as if someone is playing.
As if you're watching someone
So
play.
someone's behind the scenes.
Potentially.
No, because it's all pre-recorded. But
Oh, I see.
But
making you
to all
think
intents and
that.
purposes, you are watching someone.
yes,
comments
so on
play
this
the
massive,
game. Right,
massive
I've got you.
cinema quality screen,
Sure.
you have this character walking up a hill, you know, and there's voiceover of people, and I'm sorry, listeners, you're gonna have to imagine the air quotes here, playing the game. So somebody goes, "Hey bros, are we all ready for the next mission?"
Oh.
You know, and then
I
they walk up this hill, and you hear another voice go, because the idea is that you're meant to play this game online with your buddies, so they are faking.
Otherwise, you'd be antisocial.
Or you'd be antisocial. So they are faking the experience of four definitely not actors
So
playing
you're
this
supposed
game.
to believe there's four
Young,
people.
attractive people.
Sure.
But you can't see them. You can only hear them.
Okay.
But they
And the kind of language they'll probably use is,
Hey.
you ready for the big operation?
The big,
Yes. Oh
yeah.
my god. Yeah. And they're like, "This is it. This is it, guys. Are we ready? Are we pumped?
It's all
yeah.
been building up to this.
Yeah. Oh, we've been training for so long. This is the one." And like
We're
and
going
this-
to nationals.
And they're walking, and these four like beautifully rendered like armored heroes are walking up a hill, and there's a big storm, and there's like wind blowing, and somebody goes, "Are we supposed to go into that? Hey, it's not the scariest thing we've faced. Let's do it." I mean, like,
It's like guys in a
It's
video
like-
game.
This sounds shit.
Whereas what they would actually be saying is, I really hate the Eskimo people. Yeah, damn right, me too.
Surely if it was your,
I'm
your
openly
mates,
very
you'd be
racist.
talking about. It was your mates, you'd just be talking about any old shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck. It's
Hey.
time to enter the big temple.
it's like when we used to play Mario Kart. We wouldn't go like, "Hey, I respect you. We've been training pretty hard
It's
all
the
season."
final lap. It's time to prove who is the greatest of the two of us.
There was no courtesy when
No,
we played
no.
Mario Kart.
Fuck you!
It was war.
Yeah. So
it
this-
was throwing the things against the wall.
It was like, so this one time I shot so hard I saw a new colour. It's like, oh, it's a blue shell.
Oh,
Jesus, right.
the award
Christ
for
on
the
a
most ruined
bike.
friendships. If you watch the honest trailer for Mario Kart, and the award for the most ruined friendships, the blue shell.
There have also been press conferences for games, say like a rock
sure.
band or Guitar Hero, where they have had actors on stage
Playing live, apparently.
pretending to play
God!
Rock Band while pre-recorded footage,
But I
plays
bet
out on the
surely
screen.
people can tell that they can't do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Microsoft notoriously fucked up with this
Did they?
with their Kinect, which was
Right.
their new controller, which was meant to be a controller-free controller. So it was
Sure.
like a camera that sat on top of your telly, and you were the controller. You moved your hands around, and that interacted with the game.
They mapped
And
your body.
They did that on stage live, and they had footage playing, and they had a little girl, like as if to say, like even a 7-year-old girl
Yeah.
can play this game, and it was just so obvious that the stuff she was doing was nothing like what was
Oh,
happening on the
God.
screen. It was awful. It was so cringeworthy.
It's like Eurovision. Like there's a rule that if you're singing, you have to be on stage. doesn't mean you have to
Yeah.
be in the center of the stage. So there have been cases where they've had a very attractive person miming
And then they've
while
had someone
they got
else.
a real uggo at the back with a great voice singing. And that's technically in the rules.
That's
So technically you're allowed to do that.
Good old Eurovision.
As long as they're standing on the stage.
But Eurovision therefore has higher standards than video game conventions.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
So my point is, some people get angry about this because of like the sanctity of gaming is being like.
It's being dragged through the mud, isn't it?
And I refer you back to Triple X Tit Ninja. There is nothing sacred about gaming.
No,
However,
there really isn't.
when I saw this footage, I wanted to curl up and die. It was the most embarrassing thing I'd ever seen.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna go into
gonna
that
do it.
storm.
Hey, guys.
Can we do this?
Hey, bro.
We've been grinding for weeks.
Been grinding for weeks, so been for this.
I've got all the XP.
I'm gonna pwn him like a total noob. it's painful. And again, I think if you look back at our episode kind of list, our track list, our history, I think a recurring theme is kind of old to middle-aged marketing people trying to be down with the kids is
Yeah.
always bad. Like that's
And just
never-
having no idea.
It's amazing how much they think they do.
I know,
Some of these
and why they
marketing
keep
people.
doing it as well. But there we go.
Madness.
Anyway, so
I
that
can get on board with that.
that is
Yeah.
my incredibly
Even-
niche hatred
It
for
is
the
niche,
week.
but we got there.
We got there in the end.
I
Yes.
feel like when you speak to me about video games, it's like when I speak to you about football.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, and
Like
I
when
thi-
you speak about comics, I feel like I've got an element
Thank you.
of understanding.
But I feel that reflects badly on me because I wouldn't even say that video games are the defining part of my. They're not the thing that makes me
No.
me. Like football is a big part of your life.
Sure is.
Comics is a big part of my life. So
Yeah.
there's clearly a bit of,
Yeah,
you know,
The popularity of the MCU has helped with that.
well, indeed.
It's helped so. It's brought so many families together.
Yeah. We're all
Like me and my
nerds
dad
now.
talk about superheroes now.
Yeah.
He never talked about them when it was comics. So, just saying.
I remember there was an episode of Mastermind years ago where a guy
no.
came on.
I entered Mastermind.
Didn't get on.
No.
No. What would your
I
subjects?
gave them two
Oh,
choices: the original Star Wars trilogy
okay. That's
and
quite
Gillingham
bold.
FC in the 21st century.
Thing is,
And they didn't go for it.
That's weird.
I
Yeah.
feel. What are the criteria for getting on Mastermind?
MasterChef.
MasterChef.
You have to be able to cook.
Well,
No less about Star Wars.
yeah. Well, you just have to fill out a form, really.
But how do they decide who's interesting? Is it based on your subjects? Are you more likely to get on if you pick an obscure subject?
Maybe they had to pay more if they did Star Wars questions.
Oh, surely you don't have to pay for like trivia.
I don't know.
Not to say the word.
Maybe there are
Jabba the
licensing
Hutt.
issues.
Because I would wager that more people have said the original Star Wars trilogy than have said Gillingham.
Yes.
I would
Do you
imagine
think that's
so.
fair?
I think that's
no
a fair
one
comment.
Has
yeah.
ever said Gillingham before?
Gillingham FC in the 21st century.
That's even.
It's very
worse.
important to
Even
distinguish.
Because I saw one years ago before the MCU where a guy came on and his specialist subject was the Sandman graphic novels by Neil Gaiman.
And he was on the show.
That's
Yes.
quite niche.
And the presenter, who was one of the Dimblebees, he was either Jonathan or David,
Or Dimbleby.
or
Gummo.
Dumbledore.
Gummo Dimbleby.
Dumbledore Dimbleby.
and he said, and your specialist subject, he said, the Sandman graphic novel series by Neil Gaiman, and the presenter goes, graphic novels aren't they just a lot of silly comics for children?
Brilliant.
And the guy said like, yes. And he said, okay, on with the questions. And it was like, you just had to give a dig in, didn't you?
A lot of people do. They like to shit all over our
Not laughing now.
beloved genre.
I
No,
would-
they're not laughing now.
I would back myself with the MCU as a specialist subject, I think.
You think? God,
yeah.
I'd be so afraid of Star Wars: The Original Trilogy or MCU, even as a fan.
Do you think?
There's so much to
I'd
know
back
and
myself.
get wrong. I think you could do Star Wars for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MCU's a big one. Though.
But the questions will be like,
There'd be very technical questions.
it'd be
I'm
like,
sure.
what was the name of the man who owned the Rancor in
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
There you go. Well, you failed.
Do you know?
Get off. Get off my show.
Do you know?
No, of course I don't.
What is the weapon that Princess Leia threatens Jabba the Hutt with when she wants to get Han Solo back?
That's too easy.
Oh, a thermal detonator.
That's the only one I knew, so I thought
Yeah.
I'd test him with that because I know it.
Because you know the. Yeah.
I thought it was really clever.
I feel I set
Yeah.
the bar quite low. If you're like, I know the answer.
Yeah. Oh, I
He's
see.
holding
What
a
you're saying.
thermal detonator.
The stuff that I know is the low
I just feel
bar.
like anything that you and I know about Star
Oh, I
Wars, he
see.
will already.
Still
he will
ve-
already
still
know.
very mean. And I'm
Well,
very offended.
you never know.
I would do the Comics of Grant Morrison. That would
Yeah.
probably be
That would probably get on.
probably be my specialist
I think
subject.
you get on with that.
I don't think I know anything about anything.
But there's
One
some
Piece.
that are ridiculous.
Okay, but again, like I'd be afraid of. It's as big.
You got to
as
back
Star
your,
Wars.
you got to
it's as
back
big
your
as
knowledge.
MCU.
You got
This
to
is,
back your
this
own
is the weird
knowledge.
thing about Mastermind. It's like it's probably the only quiz show in the history of quiz shows where you
You
can
get to choose, yeah.
you can define the questions that you get asked.
Well, there's also a general knowledge round.
Well, true.
God damn it!
But
Yeah.
if you came
That's
on,
where a lot of people fall down.
but it's like, but what if your area of expertise only has like 2 questions that
Yeah.
could possibly be asked about it?
Imagine the poor researchers who have to
Yes.
do this stuff.
That's
yeah,
the thing.
it's like they get the Sandman graphic novel series by Neil Gaiman. It's like I don't know what that is, but I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna have to get. Some
And I'm gonna
questions
have to
then.
find not
hard questions
hard. That's the
because
thing.
I thought I had a hard
Yeah.
one with thermal detonator and I didn't.
Because you don't just go like Google it and go like it's like who came up with
Who's the Star Wars
who was
man?
the Star Wars man?
What are their laser swords called?
What's the, they're made of light and they look like a say. Oh,
Oh,
damn it!
no!
Oh no!
Wookiee Homeworld.
Kashyyyk.
God damn it.
That's really good.
He's good, isn't he? He's really good.
Yes.
Okay, I've got a hate.
Okay, save us.
It's a return to a classic. I hate life hacks.
Uh-oh.
And I've got some more life hacks for you.
Oh.
Actually, this time thanks to Simon Puggleton IV
Oh, the fourth of the noble Puggleton
of the
tribe.
Puggleton House.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He tagged me, just me. I like this.
Oh, I see.
I've become synonymous now with life hacks, it seems. And he tagged me with a latest batch.
Oh, great.
Yeah, fresh ones I hadn't seen before.
Wonderful.
Fresh
Because every time
batch
this
of
is the
life
third
hacks.
time I've revisited life hacks.
Oh, I hope Raoul's okay. Locked in his warehouse with a bunch of stationery.
He's got to churn some out, and this time he had to churn 30 out.
Oh god.
And I haven't gone through all 30, believe. Well, I went through them all, but I haven't.
Is this
presented
like
them all.
one of those
It's a living.
videos?
No, this
You
was
see
this was
videos,
like a
don't you?
BuzzFeed
Like,
article.
oh, why
I
not
don't
instead of a
videos.
grapefruit, eat an orange?
Yeah,
That's a great life hack.
great. Yeah, thanks. This is crafty.com,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Oh, God.
So here's the first one.
Jesus.
When you're about to go out on a grocery run,
Okay.
take a picture of your refrigerator before hopping into your car.
Okay.
That way, as you're walking around the store, you can reference the photo and it'll help you remember what you do or don't
Jesus
have.
Christ.
Again,
That's not a life hack.
No.
though, is it?
It's also a bad idea because all the stuff I buy doesn't go in my fridge.
I know, and your fridge is always full of American cheese.
It's full to the. I can't see anything
it's
else.
irrelevant.
Well, it's either cheese or mayonnaise.
Plus, if you were in a movie, it would be a photo of you taking a photo of
That's
your fridge.
true. I'd be in the shot and I'd be blocking half of it out.
And the film crew would be
Yeah,
shot
exactly.
behind
It doesn't work.
Again, I feel as with a lot of his life hacks, there is always a kernel of truth.
But that's not
There's an
what I would
attempt.
call a life hack. It's not something you can do. A life hack I would define in my head as something you can do to complete a task easier than the traditional way.
I think there's that. I think there's also the hack element has to be using something not in the intended purpose that you thought it was for, and thereby creating a new
But
functional
it's always
thing.
Fine,
paper
I accept
clips.
that.
It's always paper.
It's always
clips.
paper clips.
Your phone camera is for taking pictures.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of something to remember something
Yeah,
is
that's-
what photos are for.
That's not a life hack. That's like a tip.
Is it advice?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think it would hurt.
No.
I don't think it would hurt.
But
to
that
take
it
a photo
also
of.
is also predicated on the idea that you have a very specific place for everything in your fridge, and that therefore you have a ham area, and then when you take a picture and you look back at that picture,
Well,
oh
it's-
no, the ham area is empty.
Well,
It's
it's,
like
like,
ham.
it's like operation. Like there's like a perfect outline of
Yeah, it's like a perforated
shank.
Oh, my ham isn't there. my beef shield is missing. I clearly need a new beef shield.
I mean,
must have eaten
I
it.
would love my fridge to have a ham area.
That
Now
would be
you've said
amazing.
it.
The
Yeah.
ham zone. So there's that. That's pretty good, wasn't it? I've got more though.
That's amazing. Please.
Yeah,
keep it
here we
coming.
go. How about keep all of those tubs of dollar store Play-Doh neat and organized by using a coffee pod carousel for storage. Here's a picture. So you know
What
those,
the-
you know those
What?
little things that look like a mug tree that are for holding your little Nescafe coffee pods.
Well, I guess I do now.
Yeah, well they exist, right? So you know if you've got all those tubs of Play-Doh that you need to keep
But
organized,
why do you have to hang them up?
why not put them all in this carousel?
That's not a.
Why don't you put your Play-Doh, John, that you have lying around?
That's not a
everywhere?
life hack. If I publish an article about why not put your plasters in the bedroom cupboard?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Why not put?
That's
you know,
like saying, why don't you staple bananas to your pinboard?
Why don't you put celery in a vase so you can look at it?
that's barely a sentence,
It's
let
just-
alone a life hack.
Yeah, the idea is, why not put this thing in another place?
The English. This is where language goes to die. It's
But
like
why-
an elephant's graveyard.
Why do you need to hang the Play-Doh up? Can't you just put it back in its pot?
You obviously didn't listen,
Well,
Chris.
pay
you need to keep it
attention.
neat and organised. You need to
Savage.
keep your Play-Doh. You have look. The last time I went around your house, I opened the door and it carved an arc in tubs of Play-Doh on the floor.
I've apologised for that repeatedly.
Your apologies are worthless because I had to wade knee deep through tubs of Play-Doh.
This is such a.
It always comes back to Play-Doh with you.
This is an Ouroboros of bullshit because I do not own one tub of Play-Doh, let alone many tubs of Play-Doh, which would necessitate the owning of a Play-Doh rack. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I like your reference.
I used to have Play-Doh as a kid.
Keep
Well, indeed.
all of
It
those
was
tubs.
delicious.
It's edible.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Just keep it all neat with a fucking rack.
But it's like that suggests that you clearly have a lot of coffee pogs because you've had to buy a specialist rack
Yeah.
to hold them.
This one hinges on two things: that you have a shit ton of Play-Doh in your house,
Yeah.
and a shit ton of coffee.
Okay.
But also that you've run out of coffee.
Yes, that you've run out of coffee and you haven't filled
But
it.
where would you put your coffee?
Where would you put your coffee now? You'd probably just have it all over the hall, just like you do. And then when you
Yeah.
open the door, just carve an arc through coffee instead.
What would you rather drown in, coffee or Play-Doh?
Coffee.
Do you think so?
Well,
Play-Doh because you could just walk out of it.
climb
But
out.
no, but you drown.
You're drowning
No,
either way.
you can't.
If you had to drown,
you can't drown in a non-liquid.
If I inhaled
you
a
had to
mouthful of
drown-
Play-Doh, I think I'd probably suffocate.
in Play-Doh or coffee,
You have to, John.
You have to.
you have to
This is
drown.
like seppuku. You have to do
But
it.
you can't. Like it would have.
You have to.
It would.
have
You're
to
ruining the
drown.
game. Don't ruin the game.
Well, one's edible and the other's drinkable. But I guess if it gets in your lungs,
I think Play-Doh isn't edible. It's just non-toxic.
There's
a big difference.
well, let's split hairs. What is the definition of edible? Is it like you can consume it, or is it like you can consume it and it will give you energy?
Okay.
Like
so
you-
edible, I guess the word technically means you could put it in your mouth.
Thank you.
and
And chew and swallow
And chew.
and excrete.
eat.
You know, and you know, we all know that Play-Doh comes out in nice little tubes.
That definitely means a lot
You
of
know.
things are edible now.
Comes out in a heart shape.
I've got a star-shaped bumhole, so crescent moon.
That's why I used to scream that. Crescent moon.
When I go to the
Crescent
toilet, crescent moon.
The amount of nights your parents would be woken up by the screaming of a crescent moon.
Here's another one. Treat you and your fellow campers to a hearty breakfast by lining the bottom of a paper bag with bacon and cracking a couple of eggs on top of it. And here's a picture of just a load of paper bags on a grill over an open flame. And in
Okay.
those paper bags are like bacon at the bottom, and then you've cracked an egg on top of that.
Wouldn't the bag set on fire?
Well, I think they're thinking that's the idea. But that's
But why wouldn't you just then put them on the grill?
Well, I guess you can't. Okay. I don't. I'm not giving them. This is how they get you. This is how they get you because there's always like a kernel of truth.
But
And that's a foot
but
in the
how
door.
Cooked? How cooked would the egg be when
before
the
the
bag...
bag is
Exactly.
burned away.
Exactly.
Oh, that's like the timer. One would imagine. Like it has the bag burn away.
That bag will burn in seconds, and the egg will just run off the bacon and into the fire.
If you
I'm sure of
put
it.
a load of bacon fat on a paper bag above a fire,
It won't
Yes.
burn.
no, it would burn.
That's how NASA.
Oh,
make
what you're
rocket
saying is
fuel.
it'll explode.
It'd like burn quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it would. That's why I got to have like oily rags. Or
Why
all the
wouldn't you
rage
just
when
put bacon?
They are all
Why
great.
wouldn't you just put bacon on the grill and put the egg on top of the bacon?
You'd have to have a raft of bacon. Again, this
But
is
you've got
how
enough
they get-
bacon.
this
You've
is
got
how
enough
they- how they
bacon
get
to
you.
put in a paper bag.
They've got us already.
No, but this is the same. This is like anti-vaxxers. They'll a foot in the door where they'll go like.
You're right. This isn't a good solution.
No.
But they have presented an answer to a question we can't answer right now. And yes, if we sat and went fucking frying pan, we'd have it. But they have got us before we reach that point, and that's how they're clever.
Yeah, that's how they get a seat at the table. They go like, "Yeah, but needles hurt, don't they?"
But they're
But
coming
like,
up with a
you can't crack an
solution
egg
to
on a
problem that
grill,
doesn't
can
exist.
you? Well, yes, that's true.
I've got you. Listen, I hadn't finished my sentence. I was about to say frying pan. No, I had you. I had you, and you can't crack an egg on the grill. I had you.
I've never thought why it would be great if I could cook an egg on this barbecue.
True.
And why wouldn't you just put foil over the grill?
Well, I was about to say that they would argue that foil doesn't exist when you're a wilderness survivor, but paper bags don't either.
do.
So,
Yeah. I'm not having it. I'm not having that one.
we've just gained an amazing insight into how BBC Question Time selects its speakers. Because if you can argue the case for why it's a good idea to cook an egg in a paper bag over a grill,
Yeah.
God knows you're qualified to come.
I would
talk
like
about...
to know if that actually works. Genuinely.
Okay, well, next time we're all out camping together,
Yeah.
we should do a special show called Hate where we go camping.
We just record it live around a barbecue.
Exactly,
Yeah.
we could do that.
Can't
Okay.
see anything going wrong with that.
No, it's fine.
And we'll test out this paper bag bullshit then.
Yeah.
How about
How does the paragraph end? I'm on tenterhooks.
that? That's it. It just says...
What? It doesn't. What?
treat you and your fellow campers to a hearty breakfast by lining the bottom of the paper bag with bacon and cracking a couple of eggs on top of it. That's it. That's
But
all
it
says.
doesn't even
That
say if it
suggests-
works or not.
No.
That suggests that you are all hungry though, and you're like, oh god,
Hungry
oh,
for-
if only we had bacon and eggs.
But you brought eggs. That's the thing. You brought eggs camping.
I would rather bring.
You probably brought a frying pan as well.
You would save space if you just wrapped your grill in tinfoil
Yes.
before you left,
Found a
and then you could shit in your paper bags.
Yes.
Crescent
Which is
moon,
much-
crescent moon.
Or I don't know. You. Why do you bring eggs?
There's your
I'm
first
so confused
problem.
about that.
If anyone ever brings eggs to one of my barbecues, I will ask them to
Maybe
leave.
they brought eggs because they knew
You'd
they
be
were
right
bringing...
to do so.
I would.
Maybe
They'd have
they-
to wade through all the Play-Doh, but they would have to leave.
Surely there'd be burnt, sooty bits of paper in your bacon and eggs. as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah, and that.
yeah. It's
So
like
I think we should test this one out.
if someone
We could do a special where we test life
we
hacks
test
out.
life hacks. Yeah,
Mm.
it could be like if someone served you an egg, perfectly cooked,
Mm.
and some bacon,
I don't like fried eggs.
perfectly cooked.
Okay.
I don't
Come-
like. I don't like
Come with
fried
me on this
eggs.
journey.
Fine.
Just
Okay.
play.
I'm just
play
saying
here.
I don't.
But
like
also,
fried eggs.
as the third element on the plate, a burnt paper bag. Would you eat the paper bag?
Well, if you were a guest,
if
I'd have to.
And you didn't want to offend them.
how would the paper bag be served? Is it stuck to the bacon?
as God intended? No. Because
Separately.
No. That's my point.
Why would
because
you serve that?
That's my
Like
point.
flakes.
This is my point because this maniac has said it's okay to serve them all jumbled together as some like horrible
Hash.
Yeah, a hash.
Is he suggesting though that
Bag hash.
I eat the bacon and eggs out of it like a Burger King?
Well, he's probably imagining that it
wants to
will,
put
it
you to
will
put your face
completely
in there.
vaporize. It will just turn to mist and disappear.
And then you snort it.
Maybe they're special bags.
They're
Yeah,
not.
but that's not a life hack then.
No, that's what I'm saying.
My favorite
Most
special.
of these aren't.
Yeah.
In their defense. Wait.
I would wrap the grill in foil.
Okay.
There.
If you're
That's a life hack.
if you're
Is it?
prepared enough to bring a bag, is what you're saying. You could probably also bring some foil.
Well, this person
Yeah,
brought 5 individual paper bags.
They took a photo of it, which is what I find bizarre, because that suggests that this is not the fevered scribblings of Raoul trapped in his warehouse. And actually, they tested
It's
it.
not a life hack.
Well, it could have gone horribly wrong seconds after that shot was taken.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Because all that Raoul cares about is a shot and a headline. That's all
Does-
Raoul cares about.
Does the bag disappear? This is what I'm fascinated by.
I mean, you can't destroy matter.
Because the paper
Oh,
bags you
can, I
use for charcoal do disappear, don't they?
They burn.
They
Yeah,
burn
but that's
up.
okay because that's
But they burn
amongst
up
the coal.
instantly. I don't
Yeah.
think you could have a paper bag that burns instantly that would also cook the egg.
No, I agree.
No. You don't tend to eat the charcoal as well, so to have it like all
Well,
mingled
yes.
up in my yolk
You don't
would
eat the
be
charcoal.
well. It's actually good for digestion.
If something's not burnt at a barbecue, it's not worth doing.
No,
I've got one more.
As
for
I
you.
proved at my last barbecue.
well, indeed.
Do you keep pulling up on the wrong side of the gas pump?
Jesus.
By that I mean petrol pump. Because
Sure, for our British listeners.
Okay.
It's okay, in brackets, me too. the fuel gauge on your dashboard actually has a little arrow.
That's not. Oh no,
Actually has a little arrow that shows which side of the car your gas tank's
that's not a
on.
life. That's,
That's not a
that's
life
car
hack.
design.
But here's the thing, right?
That's not a life
That's an
hack.
observation.
Here's the thing.
That's not.
Here's the thing. A, your car has the arrow. That's just a
not- it's not a
functionality of your
life hack.
car. Neither of my cars have it.
Is that not just the indicator?
No, on your little symbol on the dashboard. Yes, that.
Some cars have it.
I mean,
some
I
cars
didn't
don't.
actually know that, but it's
Well,
not
you
a life
don't
hack.
you don't drive very often.
No,
do
that's
you?
very true.
I checked both of our cars after I saw this.
After you listened and you.
I listened and I thought, Raoul, I'm going to give you a shot.
It was 2 a.m. I got out of bed. I went downstairs.
Ali said, what's wrong? I said, shut up. I've got something I have to prove.
I won't have you holding me back anymore. I'm going to check the fuel gauge.
She's like, what do you mean? We're not going anywhere. Shut up!
So you Donald Ducked your way out at 2 in the
Oh,
morning.
Winnie the Pooh on the way to the car. I had to. And it was very unnerving sitting in the driver's seat in a bare ass.
The thing is,
Tell me
that's
the thing, John.
that's like saying, do you frequently shit yourself? Did you know your trousers have a zip? And when you look down, you're like, oh,
Yeah, it's that. It's that.
wow.
It's akin to the fridge one in many ways because the fridge one is, did you know you can take photos of things to remind you of
It's
things?
worse than the fridge one.
It is worse than the fridge one because
Did
it's
you
fundamental
know?
functionality of the car.
Did you know?
Are you having trouble drinking your beer because the cap won't come off?
Did you know?
Well, there's a new thing called a bottle opener.
Do you have trouble sleeping because your TV is on all the time? Did you know there's a little button? Oh,
I didn't know. I just thought they lived in the box.
Is your kitchen really hot all the time? Did you know that your oven has a door and can be turned off? Wow.
Yeah, that's not a life hack.
No,
That's just advice.
it's just a fact, really.
That's a cry for help.
Yeah. Raoul is running. I think Raoul is nearly dead.
Raoul, if you can hear us, if they let you
They
have
don't
access
let him because he needs a life hack to get access to a podcast. That's the way we get to him. Somehow.
Somehow, somewhere.
Oh, Raoul.
Jesus Christ. That is
Either way.
astonishing.
There you go. There's a few.
Yeah.
It'll be a recurring feature. I'll bring some more back for you as soon as Raoul writes them, I guess. But
Good old Raoul.
yeah. Hey.
Bless him.
Wow. I'm still traumatized by that. You gotta love Chris Ray.
I sure have.
Go for it.
My good friend.
I take the bus quite often.
Okay.
I really enjoy it when bus drivers wave to each other. I really do.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Okay.
So I'm on the National Express or a stagecoach, and they will only wave to people on the other side of the road who are also working for their company.
Brilliant.
Oh.
So stagecoach drivers will only wave to stagecoach
like
drivers.
brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
National, they all just go, all right,
All right.
all right.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
must pass each other, 50 times a day, some of these bus
Probably
drivers.
because they're all doing the same.
They
route.
always wave every single time.
got
Watch,
it.
next time you're on a bus, watch. They always wave to each other. It's fucking brilliant.
I am a part of this now because smart car drivers do it,
Do they?
No.
and I didn't realise because I've only
Wait.
recently got a smart
Wait.
car
Okay.
I didn't know that.
How do you know?
because they all fucking wave at me.
Is there
Isn't that
something wrong with your car?
Well, I mean, I'm missing both headlights and the bonnet is just smacking into the windscreen.
It's actually
but yeah.
drivers of all cars.
It's like, dude.
It's great. I know. I look for it now.
There's a lady I
I
pass
just look for it now.
in a
It's
black
great.
smart car on the way to Yeovil every Tuesday morning, and she manically goes and waves with a big smile on her face as I go past because I am also in a smart car.
Every day.
That's every week.
Every week.
I see her every week. And I have passed other smart car drivers and they've done the same. Now
you
I
go.
start initiating it with other smart car people and they just look at me like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
So nobody has returned.
No one's returned any of mine.
So what
but
you're
I've
sa-
had many sent
Maybe
my
there's
way.
a special way.
So what you're saying-
Maybe.
Could be.
What you're saying is that either there's something wrong with your car
Yeah,
and everybody's trying to frantically tell you,
100%.
or there's something wrong with that woman.
Well, she's not the only one. Well, I mean,
Well-
she is the most crazy, though.
you've
That's
not
the-
you've not
enthusiastic.
been able to spread the joy though.
No, but others have waved at me other than her.
Ah,
I've never been an initiator successfully,
successfully.
but I've been a recipient and what's the word? Give it backer.
Yeah,
I've been
that
one
is
of
the
those.
word.
That's
yeah.
the word. I've got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nailed it.
So do you only wave at smart cars?
Oh yeah. What the
Okay.
fuck? What'd you take me for?
He's not a mentalist.
Right.
I'm not going to wave at a Nissan Leaf.
No, nobody does. Bastards.
When I was young,
But next time you're on a bus, just don't look. If you see if you're on a stagecoach, look the other side of the road. When it's passing, they'll wave to each other. It's brilliant.
It's adorable.
It is adorable.
Yeah.
when I was young, every time when my mom was driving or my dad, every time like say like you give way,
Yeah.
you know, like it's
Yeah.
polite to like just go, oh, thank
Thanks.
you, just
Yeah.
give like a little wave.
Hand up.
As a kid,
I get very upset when people don't do that.
oh,
Yeah.
I know it's infuriating.
Yeah.
But I would go, do you know them?
Yeah.
Every time it took me a really long time to realise that they don't.
Oh, I thought you were being a troll. Like,
No.
"Oh, do you know them, Mum? Why
Well,
are you
it
doing
just
that,
like-
you weirdo?
It just felt that way. And also, like as a kid, I think I was quite like a nervous passenger because there'd be times where like we'd be coming out of like say the garage forecourt.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a nice photo of that. It's like we start the car, and then for a second, like my mom might like take her hands off the wheel. Just because like we're coasting at like half a mile an hour, like and I
It's
go
a white knuckle ride.
and Mila next to her go like, oh, and, like I would like lunge for I would lunge for the steering wheel.
As if you
I
would
bet
be
that
able
was-
to
I
do
bet
anything.
that was fun
Yeah.
for her.
Because how old were you? Like 6?
Probably, yeah.
What were you going to do?
I don't know. I was like terrified.
Don't worry, I'll deal with this.
Don't worry, mother, I have this. What's this for again?
I used to find it quite an alarming experience, but there we go.
Wow. Anyway, I would advise the listener to just.
I'm
have
going
a
to look out for it now.
You should.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm going to, as a smart car driver, wave at a National Express coach driver and see what happens.
He'll laugh you out of the place.
Fuck. I'm going to do it anyway.
Next time, National Express, Stagecoach, any brand, and you see the same brand on the other side of the road, they will wave to each other. It's an unwritten law.
What if I put the National Express logo on the side of my smart car?
That's
They have to wave then. I think they have to.
if you've got a member of the public with you
Ah, shit.
who smells bad.
Okay, I'll grab someone, put them on the roof rack.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a roof rack. It's a smart car.
Roof rack.
Good God, it's
Barely
better.
has wheels, does it? A smart car.
It's got one wheel. Fuck off.
It's got one light, but you have to constantly crank it to keep it.
Have to be over 30 miles an hour for the light to come on.
What's it like, your smart car? I'm
It's
genuinely
kind of like
curious.
Mario Kart in real life. No, it's really not. It's really normal.
Feels like a normal
Yeah,
car.
just 100% feels like a normal car. It's got basically no suspension, so I feel like I'm driving in like an old-timey wagon every time I go over the tiniest bump. But it's very spacious, considering how small it is.
Well, because you don't have to worry about
Is it
one
one of
two
the
extra
ones
passengers.
that's like half a car?
Yeah. So I look when you look over your shoulder to reverse. The rear windscreen is like there. It's like your nose touches the glass when
So
you look over the shoulder.
You have a boot though. You've got like a
Yeah, but it's kind of more like a slot behind the two.
like a set tape.
I
You
can
feel like a
carry
sheet of A4 in there.
two sheets of A4 stacked. I can carry.
Every time I'm setting off, I just plug in a 1993 edition of Cinderella by Disney, and I got about as much mileage as I can get out of that.
It's just you like load a CD in and it just.
Yeah, it's like a disc drive's
Yeah.
worth of space. Yeah.
It's like my parents' car. I remember vividly the first time I drove a car that had more than one CD slot in, and you used to have to
audio
get
changer.
yeah, but yeah, you get like this weird little plastic multi-stack box which you take out of the car,
Yeah,
put
preload.
6 CDs in, and then plug it into the boot.
Yeah.
I remember then.
Yeah.
The privilege of having 6 CDs in the car. It was
Wow.
That was
luxurious.
it was luxury at the time.
And it had like a shuffle function that would shuffle between 6 CDs, but it'd always be like, oh man, I really enjoyed Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. I look forward to the next track playing in 20 seconds. When it finishes.
Oh no, we've cut to the Pocahontas like original soundtrack. Oh well.
was-
Savages, believe in human. Oh
But
god.
It was always like seamless. It was like,
Oh
Oh,
it's
God.
beautiful.
Great audio.
It's great audio.
What's your love, John?
My love is, I love
Uh-oh.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Oh,
The poor rich man's social media.
That's a really good way of putting it. That should be their tagline.
I've been getting into LinkedIn recently, and
Nerd.
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I was told to update my professional profile on
Great.
LinkedIn,
Great.
and
Don't care.
I love
How
how
did you have LinkedIn?
I did. I've had LinkedIn for years, but
Okay.
I've not really.
Do you have a
done-
LinkedIn, Chris?
I do have a LinkedIn.
Good.
There's nothing on
Now
it.
you're employable.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
yeah.
That is good.
But so I was told to did you know that on LinkedIn you can have a sexy banner? You can have a banner image.
I've got a banner.
A
On
banner.
your profile page.
Yeah, a banner.
Yeah,
A
so-
banner. Mine's a catamaran
Yeah.
banner, which I think is very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I've
I
got like
didn't
a
know- I
banner
didn't know
image,
that,
you know,
A banner.
I designed a banner for a client, actually,
for LinkedIn.
for their professional company page
Oh, on LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On LinkedIn.
When I say designed, I just sort of did it. I didn't really design anything.
That's all I do, and I'm
Well,
on
Yeah,
I created a banner image for myself, which had not quite, but it had like buzzwords.
Is it
like,
you with
know,
your-
synergy and
blue sky thinking.
Is it you with your like fist up against your chin?
Yeah.
On your professional photo shoot.
with a monocle and
It's
a scarf.
actually a photo of me from my wedding morning when we were all in the room having a whiskey.
Getting
Cropped
pissed
out
up.
shot.
Yeah, so the little glass of whiskey in my hand is ever so slightly out of shot. It's
Perfect.
just like my slightly
It's been
professional.
photoshopped out for like a clipboard.
With a graph with a red
Yeah.
arrow going up.
Yeah.
Inflation.
But what I love about LinkedIn is how shit and yet earnest it is. Like when you actually start using LinkedIn properly, it's got kind of like that 2007 pure Twitter energy, back when Twitter was like new, but all anyone talks about is really boring shit. Like it's so boring.
You go on LinkedIn and you see something, you think, oh, for fuck's sake, I should like that, but fuck me, it's boring.
Don't care.
It's like I got a friend request from some guy who, by all accounts, it seems like a genuinely very lovely man, but like he keeps posting articles about like good practice in communications.
Oh yeah,
And-
very important.
And like I'm like, you know what? I'm expanding my professional network. I don't know you, but okay, like I'm friend. So he keeps posting like thought leadership articles.
Oh yeah.
About like, you know, the top 10 mistakes that people make when promoting their brand online. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. You know, and now he messaged me today going like, hey John, I just published a new article recently. You may find it interesting. So, cheers, mate.
That's an automated message.
Thanks, buddy.
It is an
He
automated
sends that
message,
to all his
yeah.
followers.
But what I mean is, it's like you'll get like these people who you may know in your day-to-day life, and when you meet them normally, you'll go like, all right, how you doing? I shat the other day so hard I saw a new colour. Thanks for your beer. And then on LinkedIn, they're like, you know, it's like so-and-so just published a new article. And
On
it's
colour
like,
theory.
It's like, at first I was skeptical about synergy, but then I uncovered this one weird trick, and it's got like 38 likes from people don't care about synergy.
Nobody
because
cares.
you know them in their daily life.
But imagine if I turned up at your house and went, oh, hi, John. It's Chris here. Literally, I'm saying these things to you.
I've been thinking a lot about
I've been thinking
inter-brand
thinking a lot
relationships.
about search engine optimization. And I've got to tell you the 5 greatest unheard truths. Have you got time to listen and improve your business?
Now,
You'd shut the door.
I'd shut the
and
door in
you'd be
your face,
right to do
and
it.
I'd be right to do so. But on LinkedIn, I'd give that a like.
You have to. You have to.
And I'd
Because that in itself is good for us.
I'd comment on it and go, so insightful.
So insightful.
3 smiley faces.
Yes.
I like the thought that you'd shut the door in his face and then the letterbox would just open and you just see his little mouth just go, transmedia content.
Number 1, update your Google profile. Number 2, try to use relevant search terms.
That's so real.
I can't handle that.
So, oh my God, I just love it in that it's like a great big sand pit and everyone is playing with such earnest energy.
It's like a sandpit, but like everyone sat in it is businessmen and women in suits.
It is
drawing graphs in the sand.
It is like primary school, because like if like a kid, like 7-year-old kid draws a picture of like a bird and it's just like a circle with two sticks
7
poking
sticks
off it, and the teacher will go like, "Isn't that a lovely picture of a
everyone?
Is that a blackbird, Craig?
Oh,
it is.
Well done, Craig.
And he goes, let's all give Craig a big round of applause, and everyone does it. Because you're all idiots at that age. You've got no idea what's going on. And that's LinkedIn, but you're talking about transmedia.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done, Craig. Hasn't he done well?
And everyone is so nice, but in this really boring way on LinkedIn.
Is this the only way people can be nice on the internet?
I think it is.
A, LinkedIn, and B, about boring stuff.
It's like everyone is role playing. It's
yes, that's what it is.
Yes,
we're all
that's the problem.
role playing because we're terrified that if we say one thing out of place, that our employer or our next employer will check our LinkedIn and they'll see that comment that we made about the Eskimo people and how racist we are towards them.
But that's Twitter, because that's Twitter.
That's Twitter.
Someone will go on Twitter and go like, oh, so I can't believe that dickhead delivery man like shat on my doormat again. And then someone will comment about how that's really racist. And that's Twitter. And then that'll go viral and then someone will lose their job over it.
Yeah.
But on LinkedIn, it's like we're all playing D&D, but for accounting.
Yeah.
It goes like, oh, I'm a level 8 regional manager, And it's a pleasure to meet you. And like... And everyone gets along.
The thing is, on LinkedIn, you're talking about how you don't mention the shit on the doorstep. You say, I was slightly delayed for work today, but that was okay because I'm based on the cloud and I was able to access my emails immediately.
There's a guy who...
Therefore, I'm able to stay active on the move.
There's a chap on LinkedIn who I'm not connected with, but clearly someone I know is connected with because I keep sharing his stuff. And all his posts, and he's like, CEO of Success Incorporated. Like he's got some name like that, and all his posts have this weird kind of like. Like if you ever went to Sunday school, everything was like a parable, or everything had like a hidden message. They'd always tell like a thinly veiled story about how it had a moral. And this guy seems to like snapping, like taking photos of like service personnel,
Brilliant.
and going like, hey, we all lead busy lives, and sometimes it's all too important. Sometimes it's all too easy to forget that customer service is important. This is Greg, and I just caught a candid photo of him. He's a baggage handler at Liverpool Airport.
This is Greg, and I just coiled off on the floor in front of him, and he had to sweep it up.
And he did a great job, and he never complained once. And I think that's a message that all young people can get behind. And that's got 28,000 likes or something like that.
This is Greg, and I now regret my white hot rage.
But that's the thing.
Picture of Greg, he's missing an arm.
He's just covered in blood.
When I arrived at reception at 2 a.m, I was understandably angry. And after downing the third security guard who tried to challenge me, Kevin here did a grand job of explaining the situation. And Kevin's like holding up a thumb, but like 3 of his fingers are bent backwards.
5 tips for motivation for your business meeting.
And all I'm getting away from it is that this guy just loves taking photos of people who earn less than him and posting them up as inspirational stories.
This guy held my jacket for me today.
This is Diane, and she has to commute 2 hours each way every day just to serve me coffee to pay for her the upbringing of her 3 children. And even though I respect her as a working class individual, I still make her take the drink back if there's not enough whipped cream on it. So remember, everyone, quality is important.
Here are my 5 tips for mistreating her.
Here are my 5 tips for the perfect latte.
How to ruin working people's lives.
Oh, God.
Just like, it's so earnest.
I love it.
God bless.
It's a very
LinkedIn.
forced environment.
Everyone,
LinkedIn.
get off Twitter, get onto LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's where we need to be.
Can you imagine in 10 years what LinkedIn will be like?
It'd be awful.
It'll be a terrible place.
It's like there'll be one person on Twitter and he'll be perfectly happy, and then we'll all come crawling back. It's just
We'll
like
just bounce backwards and forwards.
LinkedIn will just be pow, 10 grand, pow.
Success.
Yeah. Success, motivation, encapsulation.
so that's my one.
Customer engagement.
That's my transmedia entertainment. That's my one weird tip for getting ahead on social media. Stop lying on Twitter and come and lie
on
constantly on LinkedIn.
But lie more earnestly. Yeah.
Everyone's lying, and they can only lie about, it's the same earnest energy as having like a community notice board in your village where there's a bake sale on. And no one likes the bake sale, and everyone's disappointed
But
in it.
everyone goes.
By
and
God,
buys
they
a
turn up with
scone.
cakes anyway.
Yes, you're right. They make like £4.58, and God knows they're proud. And that's LinkedIn, and we should all get that. We should all be that happy.
We should, you're right. That's a lesson. Well done.
That's a lesson. Thank you.
Well
you.
done, everyone.
Well, I love
Oh, yeah.
Shreddies.
Oh.
Flatulence filtering underwear. You heard of these?
Oh,
What?
I've seen the
There are
adverts.
adverts in service stations for underwear that filters farts. Yeah. Apparently these exist. And so I researched it and went on their website and watched some videos.
Filters them into what?
Well, filters them out
crystal.
completely.
That'd
Yeah,
be-
it
wouldn't that be something?
just turns into a solid spiky quartz crystal that's
Yeah.
stuck in your ass. No, the whole idea is some people in this world, and I'm 100% sure this is true,
Yeah.
cannot control the regularity or stench of their bodily gaseous
Okay.
extrusions, right?
Okay.
So for them, these exist, these special carbon lined
These life hack pants.
Yeah. That when you put on and you guff as hard as you can into them, just really force out some like poop particles, the smell doesn't come out. It just doesn't come out.
But one would, well, there we go. One would imagine the noise does come out as well.
Oh, we had to ruin it.
They just fart and it just turns into the hills are alive. Thing is, if you've got bad flatulence, you've probably got very bad arse control. Is
Might
there
have
not a chance when you're farting that you might shit yourself?
They won't smell it.
Would they not? If I shit in those pants,
Well, I mean, I don't know. None of
But
their
surely-
test videos show people shitting in them.
maybe they should.
But surely you've got to start okay, smell is, as you rightly pointed out, Chris Ray, smell is only one facet of this green polyhedral dice we're dealing with here. Right. Like, smell, okay?
Big part of it,
so,
but not all of it.
So there is a brick of carbon. There's an inanimate carbon rod in every... Kind of like in an oven filter or
a catalytic converter.
Yeah, a catalytic converter. Yeah, so like when you clean out the lint tray in your tumble dryer, there's like
a grid.
There's a grid of carbon and platinum.
Let's say
in every pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Okay. That's smell.
That's a big part.
Now, noise.
Yep.
What are we going to do about that?
Cough loudly when it happens. A lot, I guess. Say you stepped on a frog.
Okay.
Oh, I stepped on a frog.
So there's nothing in the underwear themselves that could contain.
I mean, it might come with a
the
pamphlet
noise
for good excuses, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
what should we include with our fart altering pants? Oh, how about a pamphlet for excuses?
I mean, it might. I haven't bought any.
If the
I don't have this problem.
I think that was actually you.
If they were boxers and they came with incredibly sturdy clamps around the legs
This
and
is
the
what I'm
waist,
thinking as well. Is that there must be a very tight leg bands and waistbands as well. Kind of like there's those things you tie to stop bleeding. If
like a
you've lost limb.
tourniquet.
Yeah, like a tourniquet.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
your legs are
tourniquets
going
on the
blue.
legs. Yeah.
But you smell phenomenal.
You do not smell a shred of shit.
Okay.
They sound like very uncomfortable garments.
I mean,
even without that,
if you go on their website, you
all
can
the comfort that
like
neoprene could allow.
a carbon rod over my sphincter just sounds hideous.
Just plug it. So you go on their website, and it's a very slick, very stylish website.
Well, you gotta.
They're really going for the like. We should take this seriously.
We should all talk about it.
Yeah,
let's just be honest about it.
This isn't comedy. This isn't funny. This is like a very serious thing, and I'm sure the condition is. I'm not trying to put people on blast who have problems with flatulence. That's a real thing. The idea of fart filtering pants is quite funny, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can't deny.
We've got
to be honest about your problems.
Yeah. So you go on a tab on their website called Media, right? And there's a whole load of videos of clips of when their product has been featured on TV.
Has it?
Videos can't
Yes.
demonstrate the smell alteration.
Oh, well,
hello.
Get ready.
Oh, hello.
Because they were featured on The Gadget Show. That well-known show on Channel 4, I believe it is.
Okay,
maybe.
yes.
We watched it briefly back in the day.
Hosted by that bald chap with the glasses.
Yeah, I
Can't
know
remember his
the
name.
guy.
And Rachel Riley.
It's Rachel Riley on it, off of Countdown.
They're talking about these pants, and then they say, right, we need to test these things out. So welcome to the set, Mr. Methane. And a man walks in dressed like a superhero, right? But he's green and purple themed.
Okay.
And he has a big M on his chest. And he looks like a bit of a goofball, bit of a comedy character, right?
Yeah.
And his thing is, and I don't know whether he's like a public entertainer, but he can fart on demand. That's he can fart whenever he wants. He can just push a food ghost out whenever he wants to. Okay?
Thing is, every time I fart, every time, I'm slightly worried I'm going to shit myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's real.
If you can fart on demand, you've got to be really fucking confident.
I'd say that he has more control than you and I do.
Yeah, but that's worrying.
I would wager that if he is a professional fartist,
which he is,
yeah, because he's putting the art in fart.
Good word.
If he's a professional artist,
bum artist,
if he's a professional bum artist,
fartist was cleverer, but bum artist is good.
Fartist is pretty good. Then I would wager that what he is expressing is all sound and fury, signifying nothing. I feel there would be no smell.
Think he's a bad test?
I think he's pure. I think he's trained his muscles to the point where he can make
the noise,
as in like he can force the muscles, but like unless you've eaten like
a load of mushy peas and gravy.
But again, I would not be confident farting.
Not with those things, because that's very liquid.
No.
Like, that's dangerous.
Imagine.
God, I bet his shit's like a traction engine. Like, I bet it's just clean,
efficient. I bet it's solid as a rock. It's shit.
But it's quick, God damn it. Like one,
Yeah, it's like dropping a stone down a well, isn't it? It's like, it's done. Anyway.
It's like pinching out a teddy bear's leg.
Say you worked on the development phase of this product.
Oh, that's a great thought.
Imagine that job.
R&D.
Like the failed versions of it.
I think
Like you have to stand by somebody's arse. Going,
No,
didn't
Kevin,
work.
Kevin,
Didn't
I can
work
still
that one.
smell it.
the
Kevin,
trauma of all the all
Kev, I
your
know what you had
dead
for lunch.
colleagues who died in the time. Okay,
So he puts these pants on over his clothes.
bad example, but they've got him here.
They've
Right,
got him. Yeah.
Over his clothes.
Over
Yeah,
his
well, I guess he
onesie,
can't-
over his superhero onesie.
Well, he's wearing like leggings, and then he's wearing pants as part of his costume,
So no, oh,
and then he's wearing now these black boxes
nobody
over
wants
the
to
top.
see that.
Can they not just prove that he was wearing them a different way?
He could have just walked on already wearing them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's put them on over his clothes.
That makes it look like you have to wear them over your
Then
clothes.
he lies on his back on this like desk, right? And he
On his
grabs
back?
on his back, and he grabs he puts his hands in the pits of his knees, and he pulls his legs up like this.
Sweet Jesus!
So he is in like prime. Get your face in there.
It's getting biblical now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
I mean-
squeezes out a fart. He just goes for it. He's like,
Wait, are we talking like
Oh.
high, low?
no, it's kind of more ras. Actually, it's like like that.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll say it
Interesting.
again. I would shit myself.
Yeah.
If that was me.
Especially
Yeah,
in
in that
that
position.
pose.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I
yeah.
think, yeah,
'Cause
probably
you're putting
yes.
pressure on your gut. You're going to coil off a bit. I would have thought.
That was
Or squirt.
That's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So he farts, and then Rachel Riley, who's obviously keeping her distance at this point, turns to the other chap, I can't remember his name, and she says, well, someone's got a test. And I mean, someone does, don't they? Someone's got to get their face right into that crack and have a little sniffy sniff. So he does, and he goes, yeah, I can't smell anything. And then Mr. Methane says, oh, I'm sure a little bit got through. As if to say, like,
As in his
as in...
his professional pride is on.
Partly that, and partly that I think he can smell something at this point. Like, he can actually smell his own ass. But because they've probably been paid, I guess, to say that they work, the bald chap just goes, sort of looks at him for a second with a sort of like, you shut the fuck up. And then he goes, I can't smell a thing. And then you just see one of his eyes water.
But there's no way without actually
Shut
doing
your-
it
You shut your mouth.
that you can accept that product works.
No.
Not
And
until-
I don't think I would be
But
able
it-
to
but
just say, yeah, all right, I'll have
Yeah.
a smell,
But
yeah.
also,
Like,
like,
stink of your butt.
Yeah,
talk
whatever.
about Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Like, if it's enough of a problem that you are considering buying
Mm-hmm.
this, to then have the balls to go, now I'm wearing them, I can fart with impunity.
Thing is, if you're wearing them, especially on the outside of your clothes, everyone knows that you fart a lot.
Everyone knows you've got a problem.
Well, I guess the whole point is that you don't wear them on the outside.
Oh,
of your
I
clothes.
see.
Like, he was only doing it because he didn't want to get his balls
And also,
out,
what's-
like, on live TV.
And also,
I guess.
what's the capacity of one kind of carbon pad? I imagine it's like
Yeah, do you have to swap out a cartridge? Is there a
like one of
cartridge?
those Glade
It
plugins.
looks like an N64 cartridge.
it's like reloading a shotgun. Like every now and then you have to go.
You just hear like tinkle tinkle after each fart because you've just dropped a cartridge out the bottom of your pants.
Two shells just discharged.
Excuse me, everyone, I've just let one rip and I need to replace the cartridge.
You
again,
can't smell it,
this
you can't
doesn't-
hear it, but two shells have fallen to the ground
Yeah,
in
but-
this pub garden.
But in this current design, you will still hear it. There's no saving you there.
bum muffs.
Bum
This
muffs.
is my
Let's
new
talk
invention.
about bum muffs.
You've had earmuffs for your ears, it's time for bum muffs.
Does it turn it into a nice smell or just a neutral smell?
Apparently, no
I don't
smell
think
at all.
it does anything to
Right,
the noise.
okay.
I mean, I heard the noise.
Because if
on
it
this-
turned it
on
into
this
like,
video.
let's say the smell of roses, you'd be like, oh, someone's that guy's farted.
And I mean,
That guy-
You'd associate him with the smell of
and
roses.
I maintain that Mr. Methane, I would put money on the fact that he's not an overly smelly
Fartist.
fartist. I think it's pure business. Like he's there to make because
He's like Duff Man.
yes, because if you're a stage performer whose job is to fart,
A lot, it seems.
unless it's pretty powerful, the guy at the back of the audience is not going to get the smell. They're there for the noise.
That's the humour.
They're not there for the smell.
And you can put a microphone next to your ass and amplify a noise, but you can't do that
You
for
can't
a smell.
amplify a smell.
Not
It's a
yet,
shame,
anyway.
really, isn't it?
Not yet. I mean, because if you could, then this podcast would be so unpopular.
Unless it's like there were in the mid 90s there were comic relief years where
Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision,
Yeah.
scratch and
Oh, you
sniff.
got scratch and sniff leaflets, didn't you?
So what
to
if
go
like
along?
every pair of shreddies comes with a pack of scratch and sniff?
have to hand them
give
out.
them to your colleagues.
Hello, everyone. I've just farted. If you'd care to scratch off panel number 4,
I like the idea that you'd had them out before. So it's like, hello, everyone. I'm going to fart in the next 2 to 3 minutes. If you could just all take this, you can choose which smell you'd like, but you're going to need it.
I have eaten a lot of cheese. I suggest turning to side 2.
It's called difficulty mode expert.
Who remembers the first time they farted in front of their partner? I do.
I don't, actually.
I do.
No.
It was after a wedding.
Oh,
It was after our friend Will Train's wedding.
that was the first time.
We went back to our hotel room. My God.
Did you destroy
I
the...
let one rip.
Oh.
I just got back into the hotel room and it just went, and I just went, oh, shit.
I also,
Thankfully, Liz laughed, so that was fine.
Clearly, there was a theme of that wedding because I remember the night before the wedding, we were all staying in the groom's house, in our good friend Will Train's house.
We were.
And we'd all retired for the night, and all the couples had gone to their various rooms, and I went to the toilet, and I farted on the toilet, and I heard you from through the wall go, meh.
See, I don't remember that.
It's very funny.
I can't remember the first exact fart in the relationship, but I definitely feel it's a sign of comfort when,
Yes.
when that finally
But
comes.
it
and
was
you can.
genuinely one of the best farts I've ever done.
Well, at least you had an audience then.
But I was just like, oh, no.
Did it smell, though? Because that's the thing.
No, but not all farts do smell. That's
That's
my
true.
next
No,
point.
that's
Not
true.
all farts
But in
smell.
terms of like farting in front of my wife,
No,
I do not mind making the noise of my ass. I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it is funny.
usually she will either laugh or go, "Oh no, now what's coming?" Because the inevitable next
Yeah, the
stage.
smell does
there's
come
nothing
later, yeah.
romantically cute about. You can say comfort until that cows come home, but if your living room smells like a sewer now because of what you've done,
Yeah.
because you know what you did.
Because you've got basically like what speed of light, speed of sound, speed of smell.
Speed of
So
ass.
like you fart and there's instantly a blinding flash of light. Then you get the noise, and then the smell comes a few minutes later.
The best thing about us getting a Labrador was that her farts could wake the dead.
Right.
So mine
you can
don't
blame
seem
it.
so bad by
Or you could just blame
comparison.
it on
Or I
her.
could blame her.
Yeah.
But mine don't seem that bad by comparison. So
I
yeah.
do.
That's good.
Speaking, we are a room full of people who do not have children.
No.
Our good friends Larry and Laura, who do have children, remember saying that their first child, when she shat, you'd just be watching her, and then like she kind of like clench her fist and just go like. So like she shout with such force and kind of like
Yeah.
I'm getting this out.
precision. Yeah,
This is happening whether you like it or not.
I feel like if your fart is loud, I would hypothesis now. It's likely you've got the noise, not necessarily the smell.
Yeah,
I'd say
I would
the
agree with that.
Hence
I
the
say-
phrase silent but violent.
Yeah, because I say if it's loud, it suggests that there's a bit of an echo chamber. There's not a lot of like.
You've got the cheek flap.
Yeah, there's not a lot of shit in there. That's making the smell. I'm saying like if it's
Oh,
a quiet one,
Mm.
it's because you're dealing with a full house down there, and yeah, it's like it's a bit more material to make the smell.
This has gone downhill, hasn't it?
Great. Well, which
Well.
one then? After that.
I had a lot of fun with love today. I've got
Yeah.
to say.
But I felt your love complained a lot about what you said you loved.
You were what,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Yeah.
No, I love the honest energy of it,
Yeah.
the honest nonsense
What
of
was
it.
your love again? I've already forgotten.
Mine was bus drivers.
Oh yes, waving at each other. That was lovely.
You've only had one beer.
I know.
And
yeah,
I better clarify.
I always go home after this show, and Ali goes, "Oh, what were the other guys' loves?" And I
Yeah,
can never
I
remember.
always get that.
Remember,
I can
no.
never
It
remember
takes
them.
me ages to
Yeah,
remember.
like next day I'll be like, "Oh, Chris was
Yeah.
this."
So,
Love, I think.
I guess love. Two.
Well, I was going to say hate, but
Well, your
it's too late now.
position's irrelevant now. Isn't
well,
it?
that's what I'm saying.
But this
yeah.
is nice though. Love. You know, love
After Sonic,
in a time of darkness.
we
you know?
we now love again.
Yeah.
We've learned to love
We
again.
learned to love. We
Yeah.
found love in his little blue
We wrote a
eyes.
song about it, but it turned up infringing upon one we've written many years before.
You.
Oh no!
Save yourselves.